This is my computer graphics assignment. The aim of the assignment was to implement different reflectance models. So for the assignment I implemented 4 different reflectance models which I will present here. So the first reflectance model I used was the Phong reflectance model. So the Phong lighting is composed of ambient light, diffuse light and specular light, which you can see here on my brass teapot. Just show we can move the light source around just to show how the light interacts with the object. So you can see the specular highlight moving around as the light source moves. The light is behind the teapots. Now we only have the ambient lighting, and we can bring it back around the front. We can also play with the Phong exponent to show the effect this has. This changes the size, I suppose, of the specular highlight, which makes the material look less shiny or more shiny. Also, just to show you different colors. This is gold. Smaller specular highlight as the gold is supposed to be shinier. Again, we've got silver. And the second model I implemented was the Blinn-Phong lighting model, our reflectance model. This is quite similar to the Phong model. It's probably not even immediately obvious that there's any difference. However, by changing here between the Phong and Blinn-Phong, you can see that the shape of the specular highlight is different. So I think that's Blinn-Phong, Phong, Blinn-Phong, Phong. So as I said, you can see the shape of the specular highlight changes. The third reflectance model I implemented was the Minnaert, not sure if I pronounced that right, reflectance model. This is also a photorealistic model. This model just has ambient light and diffuse lighting. However, the diffuse lighting is also multiplied by a darkening factor. The Minnaert model supposedly makes an object look like it's velvety, so you can decide whether or not this teapot looks velvety. Again, I'll move the light source around to illustrate how the light interacts with the object when we use the Minnaert model. So you can see it here. Move it up a bit. Back around. And again, I have different colors. So we have our brass teapot with the Minnaert. We have our gold teapot and our silver teapot. So the fourth model I implemented was Toon or cell shading. So this is a non-photorealistic reflectance model. Again, it does have ambient light, diffuse lighting and specular light. However, what makes it non-photorealistic is that rather than having a gradual change in the colors, we have thresholds. And so, for example, if the dot product of the light direction and the norm is above a certain threshold, we apply diffuse light, and if it's below that threshold, we only use the ambient light. And similarly, for deciding whether or not to apply specular light, we also have a threshold. And we also have outlines drawn along the edges. You can decide or change the thickness of those lines. Also show the effect of changing the exponent here, so we can make the object look shinier with a smaller specular highlight. We can also make it look bigger or look duller by increasing the size of the specular highlight. Again, this is supposed to look brass. We also have gold and silver, so that is the Toon or cell shading. Oh yeah, I'll move the light around so you can see the effect that has. So again, darkness. Here though, you can see the edges that I've drawn as well as the ambient lighting. Move it back around to the front, and we see the diffuse and specular lighting come into play. Then finally, just to illustrate all 4 different models we have here, so the top left we have Blinn-Phong Reflectance on a gold teapot. In the top right, we have Minnaert Reflectance model on a silver teapot. Bottom left, we have Toon or cell shading on a golden teapot. And in the bottom right, we have Blinn-Phong shading on a brass teapot. Again, I'll just finally show how the light interacts. So we can move the light down. We can see the specular highlights changing. All the teapots are in darkness, just ambient lighting, and back around to the front. So that's all. Thank you for watching.